Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to a weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 29th Commitments of Treasury Report of 2021, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercial's net positions. But before I start the review, if you're new to this report and the whole analysis of it, here at COTbase.com, we offer a lot of educational material that will explain how you can analyze the Commitments of Treasury Report, how you can benefit from looking at it and checking it week by week. Of course, it is a weekly data coming from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Okay, back to the review and starting off with our first market, which will be the gasoline market, with a 37% change in commercials positions. You can see commercials on the left side over here, large speculators in the middle, and small speculators on the right side. The 37% is, of course, measured on a 52 weeks look back period, which of course is exactly a year. And there you go. Visually, it is quite easy to see the magnitude of that change. And if you compare that to the past 52 weeks, then you can easily find this being one of the largest, or possibly the largest change in commercials net positions. Now, the direction is bullish, but you can see that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have already seen a rise in the market. So the signal could be a little bit late for us. Moving on to the 5 years chart, we have a chance to examine the extreme situation, which is surprisingly bullish, even though prices are headed upward. Now, of course, keep in mind, COT charts are not derived from price data, so they are a separate individual fundamental data represented in a technical format. It only means that commercials are buying for reasons not necessarily known to us. It's actually a bullish COT extreme signal, suggesting in the medium to long run we could actually see even further increase in prices. But again, this is not a typical signal, because usually commercials are moving in the opposite direction as the market, meaning if we see a rise in the market, we tend to see commercials adding to their net short positions, because generally speaking, commercials are producers. But of course, don't forget about the consumers of the commodity, who may be expecting higher prices and are trying to lock in these prices, expecting a rise in the market. Okay, the next market will be Palladium. 36% change over there in commercials positions. On this 1 year's chart, it's quite visible. Again, we're talking about a greater than average change size. We have seen some changes like that in the past. It is bullish, suggesting some strength early next week. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that in Palladium, we have been in a bullish extreme since March of 2020, and that has not changed. So it really opens the window for much greater and higher prices in the medium to long run. Another energy market for the review, crude oil, WTI crude oil to be specific, 34% change over there in commercials positions. Back to the 1 year's chart, you can see that change magnitude over there. It's not necessarily as easy to see it. It is greater, much greater than average, suggesting some strength early next week. But again, of course, due to correlation between these markets, similarly to gasoline, we have already seen a rise, which suggests that this signal could be a little bit late for us to act upon, but we'll see what the momentum does, if it can take us further up. 5 years chart, here we go. Here we have a more neutral extreme situation, so neither bullish or bearish. Okay, moving on to large speculators, COT Extreme. We've talked about the gasoline market. We had a 566 report extreme over there in large speculators. Orange juice will be the next market with 152 report extreme in large speculators. So taking the horizontal line, You can figure that out to be roughly over here about 3 years ago, 2018 August. That's when we had a extreme similar to that one, which actually was just after that top in the market. It is a bearish extreme, suggesting weakness coming in the medium to long run. Will it come now? I don't know. We may need to wait a little bit longer for that to happen. Okay, true US dollar index, something for our subscribers. We're going to jump over that and open another energy, natural gas. Here we have a 70 report extreme. In large speculators, you can see that over there. We are headed towards bullish COT extreme levels. Now, once again, what I talked about in the case of gasoline, there is a bit of a change in market participants' reactions, because you can see that commercials started chasing prices. So that is something unique, interesting to witness. But I would suggest to you to go to on COT typical setups and read this article, because I think this might be very, very interesting for you to know the commercial capitulation, which happens very, very rarely, but it does happen. There's reason for it to be, and it is something that I think may be happening in these energy markets. I'm not sure, honestly, but just take that into consideration as well. So back to natural gas in the 5 years chart. Let's just put that aside. Here we go. So there you can see, as prices are headed higher, we can see that commercials are increasing their net long position. They became net long in March of this year. So interesting. Australian dollar will be our last market for this brief review. 70 report extreme in large speculators. Now here we have a more I would say traditional picture, because as you can see, we had a rise in the market, and as that happened, we saw traders shift their positions accordingly, meaning commercials actually went net short. As the market is going lower a little bit since February of this year, you can see traders moving in the opposite direction, commercials starting to add to their net long, and large speculators net short, and increasing those positions. That is all for this review, but don't forget that we offer a ton of tools and data to analyze. So basically everything that is available at CFTC, you can get here in very, very easily understandable format. So you can, of course, look at all the newest COT report types, and these reviews, we only touch the classic, the most simple, so-called legacy COT report types, but there are other reports that further detail what's going on in the markets. You can analyze other data types like the futures only data, and actually we constructed the options only commitments of traders data, which I think is very, very unique. I believe only available here at cotbase.com. You can analyze all sorts of data sets, anything that you wish, that you might be interested in. We only show a few market categories, so don't forget there's a lot of markets to analyze. They are all available here, and we have some very useful tools. We only show you a few. This is not something that we want to give out in these free weekly reviews, but if you subscribe, you would definitely get a chance to look at them. So just for example, COT index on any defined look back period that you want. The move index, you can add the long-term trend indicator. You might want to analyze volume and open interest. We have a score system for that. You can, of course, always go back in time and look at a specific report that you're interested in. You might be somebody who's only trading a few markets. Let's say you're trading euro. You can just hop over to the left side panel here, choose the euro market, and then go into a deep analysis of the data. That's again available here at cotbase.com. Now, you may also want to try a specific indicator. If you're somebody who uses NinjaTrader, then The COT-based Pro indicator offers you all of our web tools in Ninja. And to go even further, I think I'm going to show you the ICOT intraday indicator, which is available for NinjaTrader, CTrader, and TradingView. You know, this is actually our own data that we constructed. It took many years to develop this indicator, but I believe it's amazing because it goes down into the micro level. You can find a ton of example charts, videos, everything. So if you like COT analysis, but you say, well, hey, it's only a weekly data. Gosh, I hoped if it could be available for a shorter time frame. Well, this is it. I mean, this is at least, the closest that we got to finding what's going on in the micro level. So you may want to check that out. Yeah, that's going to be all for this review. I so much appreciate your attention. I wish you guys a wonderful weekend. Take care and see you next time. Goodbye.